Today we have Nadim, who is presenting us about Fiat to seeds with SDGs or something like this. I'm talking it on memory. I'm saying it on memory. So Nadim, take it away.
Thank you so much, dear Apostle, and thank you all here for being here and having me and sharing your time and your energy with me. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. So today we will talk about gamifying the SDGs and how we can inject fiat money to the regenerative movement and in general to the seeds ecosystem. So I would love to share my screen right now with you and go over some slides as what is motivating us. And after that, we can talk about the product in general. So we will talk about the one part will be the SDGs. And I hope everyone here knows what the SDGs are, the Sustainable Development Goals. Developed by the United Nations, and these sustainable development goals are quite tricky, so we have to talk about it later and if we want to use them in our system. Yes, Apostle?
Can you do an introduction if you haven't prepared it? I can ask you to just do a few sentences of what are the SDGs and why they are tricky, and who is defining them and that kind of stuff, if it's okay with you.
Yes, sure, but I have to say here that there are other experts in the circle helping us with these SDGs, because this is a global thing, a complicated thing, and they have a lot more knowledge about this, so they are consulting us with these SDGs. So basically the SDGs are goals developed by the United Nations to all the countries participating to reach these goals, sure. And this is kind of the last trying to help the help the environment, the ecology to get more sustainable, and we reverse the ecological footprint that we are doing right now. So and these are on governmental level. So the United Nations are proposing these goals to the government, and the government is then forcing their
I lost you a little bit. There. Okay, I see that guy also doesn't hear them. Nadim? Maybe your internet connection.
I lost him too. I lost him too.
Let's wait for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, it's possible that his internet went away. Still, we are gonna wait for 2 minutes.
Sorry guys,
There you are.
Yeah, I'm here in Guatemala. Sometimes we have internet fallout.
Okay, yeah, great.
Okay, so let's share the screen again. Hello, Anna, good to see you here. So our motivation is the power that we have as consumers in our hand. So here from Emma Watson, she says that when we as a consumer are conscious about what we are buying, especially buying online, then we can have a much impact on the environment. And then the approach is we want to develop a web extension that shows the user the ecological footprint of the manufacturer when he's shopping online. So just as easy as it is, you install a web extension, and whenever you go online shopping on, let's say, Amazon or Alibaba or eBay, it will pop up or show you inside of the web page how the ecological footprint of that organization, of that manufacturer is. And then we want to gamify this with a ranking system, encouraging the competition between these producers and manufacturers for being more regenerative. And this will help us having an income source for the seeds and the regenerative movement. Why does the user want to install this web extension? So he can have easy access information to make a more informed decision when buying online. So many people are already aware that if they buy products from more sustainable organizations, then they can help directly towards a more sustainable economy. So, but it's hard for them right now to have the information about the ecological footprint. As well, we want to support regenerative producers and brands out there. And when the user installs this web extension, he will get some seeds as a reward, and this will spread the word about seeds. Again, the producer want to install or participate in this program to meet the SDGs imposed by the United Nations. So again, the producers, they have to do something, and they are doing something right now. But it's not really visible to the consumer. So there are various public databases out there where we will get the data for this web extension for our scoring system. So the data is available in a very, very detailed level. And the producer, when he participates in this game here, he can move up in the ranking and get even marketing. So he don't have to pay for marketing. Just our web extension will help them get more reach. And even there is a possibility that organizations, they have to pay right now carbon tax to the governments. Let's say in Mexico, there is a producer and they have to pay carbon tax. And this carbon tax then goes to the United Nations. And they have to pay to the government, and the government forwarding it to the United Nations. But they can pay it as well directly to kind of regenerative organizations, or they can pay it to charity organizations. And for example, they can pay it into a seeds blockchain, and then we can give them a bill from the blockchain, and this would be the same as they are paying it to any government. So they only need a bill. And we have the brother Tatsu in Mexico working on several ideas on that right now. So there are a lot of possibilities where we can improve it here. And our advantage is for the data we need for this web extension, it is all available publicly for free. We only need some APIs, and then we can gather this information from various platforms. The user will have, so over this platform, we will get a lot more users for our players for the seeds ecosystem. So every time when we have developed this web extension, we have right now access to thousands of networks there who are interested in this web extension. And when we share it there, it can spread easily to over various networks. And then we have the strategic partner approach, or we want to develop it on our own. So there we have two ways.
We are going to wait for a minute or two for Nadim to come back. I guess there might be places with a good internet connection in Guatemala, but Nadim is not in one of them. Does anyone have a good funny story about SDGs or web extensions or seeds?
I can tell what I know from where the SDGs came from. It all started in Rio +20 conference that was held in 2012 in Brazil, celebrating the 20 years plus the Rio conference in '92. And by then, the UN wanted to launch a framework that could support countries to become more sustainable. And during the conference, Rio +20, they launched the challenge for organizations and peoples just to come together and propose these different frameworks, because they wanted to upgrade the 8 Millennium Goals that they were not sufficient anymore to embark all the challenges that we had in the globe. And since 2012 to 2019, many organizations, NGOs all over the world got together and started designing what would later become the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And this was very innovative, because the 8 Millennium Goals were designed in pretty much in an office by experts trying to encompass the global challenges. And the 17 Sustainable Development Goals was this decentralized movement from different organizations trying to come up with a very cohesive framework of what would be the Sustainable Development Goals. And then we got finally in 2015, the proposal of the 23rd Agenda with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. and 119 countries, which are the UN members, signed unanimously, if I said that right. All the 192 countries signed up for the Agenda 2030. So it was not like an imposition, but it was an intention for the countries to commit with targets that would keep the development within safe conditions for the planet. But the risk now is that now we are 2021, and half the way of the targets of 2030, and we are far below or far behind the targets that the countries should achieve. So that is a quick summary where the 17 Sustainable Development Goals came from.
Thank you for that, Helma. And the idea, if I understand correctly, is that there are going to be a lot of funds in the next 10 years that are going to be put into making these sustainable development goals happen. And that's what the way to catch up basically on that.
Yeah, especially Europe with the Green Deal is an attempt to speed up the process to achieve the targets and putting investments for the countries to develop technologies that are more aligned with green technologies so that we can achieve the targets of the Agenda 2030.
Yeah.
Which is this, when we talk about 17 Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030 is the same thing.
Yeah.
It was not good.
It's, I'm going to share them now because why not? So I'm actually reading them and they're like common sense. It's not that when you hear SDGs, it's like, what's that? Like, but like no poverty, okay, zero hunger, good health and well-being, education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. I think that clean water and sanitation should be before gender equality, but I don't know. Maybe they're not ranked. Maybe they're not ranked. They're just like numbers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, conserve and sustainably use the ocean, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Okay. Life on land, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem sustainability, sustainably manage forests, combat the desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation, and halt biodiversity loss. Peace, justice, and strong institutions and partnerships for the goals. Global partnership for sustainable development.
There are some arguments against target goal number 8 that mentions economic growth. So we're not dealing with the infinite growth, but we actually want to keep growing, you know. So that's they say, okay, people should keep working and growing the economy. So
Yeah,
That's
that's a
not-
little bit controversial, yeah, because economic growth usually comes at the cost of the externalities of that growth. If it's only focused on the growth, yeah. But the basic like 4, 5, or 6 are like common sense, like something that in the 21st century we should have. But yeah, affordable and clean energy and clean water and quality education and good health, like health services, and hunger and poverty. But yeah, I
So
guess.
did we lost Nadim for good for today, or maybe he's coming back?
Well, how do I know? I will write him in Discord.
Yeah. But what I hear from his proposal is to create an extension that's going to be used on a browser that allows you to rank products according to the externalities, right? The external costs. And so it seems cool, but that work on all kind of products, or just I don't know.
I think there are
details, but
there are extensions that notify you when you are in a scammy website like that has that is connected to scams. So I think it could be similar to that. I think there are two big problems with it, which is how do you rank the products or the companies. I think he said that there are existing databases that can do that. So, but I would love him to be here in order to answer the questions. Yeah. I guess we can wait another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll see what happens.
okay. Maybe we could use the time to choose a new topic for the next call. And
Yeah, sure. We can use the time so we don't just wait. So this is the board. Now we're here. The next more voted things are the partnerism, I think was yesterday, so I'll put it here. I'm not sure if we have a recording on that. I would love if we have. And then we have the architecture of tokenomics and exploration around tokenizing externalities and exploration around seeds impacting deforestation. Guy says that partnerism was awesome, which is awesome. I'll ask Neil if there is a recording, and share. We can share it if there is. I guess the architecture of tokenomics is the most common sense next topic that we could have. And while we like get into how tokenomics work, after that we can actually get into tokenizing externalities or tokenizing the Amazon forest, impacting with the knowledge of how tokenomics work. basically. So yeah,
Yeah, I think we can do both. But one thing, maybe we allow people to have some time to create new tickets and present the tickets if there's anything new, any
yeah,
subjects, because I don't think people are, and then take some time to vote as well if you want. So
I'll share the link here. So you guys, this is the link for joining. So you guys can,
yeah, anyone can create items on the
yeah,
board if you want to offer something or if you want to have someone talking about. So there are maybe some new items on how Uniswap works. I don't know who posted that. So maybe,
there is also some info around how do we connect Seed's digital system to the physical world? If someone wants to present on that, how Uniswap works with Seeds, advantages and disadvantages of the Uniswap. I think we saw some of the disadvantages. These are, if someone wants to present on those, these are just proposals from people. And how can one take on a remunerated, energizing core role? That is, we don't need to do a whole session on that. I'll just answer it at the end of this session.
yeah, maybe we could do a session explaining how the core works and how is the organization. So maybe I don't know if that worth a session, but it would be nice to go over.
Yeah, I think the structure we set up is pretty evident, but a lot of the people who are not in the core may not have like insight into it. So we could have a session explaining, but yeah, Nadim is here. We could have a session explaining how it works. Maybe I think we have like 4 sessions until the end of the year, and then we could have a New Year's break of 1 or 2 weeks, probably. So we need like 3 or 4 more lectures, and I think next one with tokenomics is very good, and let's see what comes up in the meantime. And Nadim, great to have you here again.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is the life in Guatemala.
Yeah. Thelma explained what are the SDGs, and I shared from the UN's website how do they look like, what are they, and so yeah, so we kind of were on point for some time, but then we also scheduled the next session for next week. So now we can continue if you're okay with it.
Yes. Thank you so much to Thelma. And yeah, what I can add now to the SDG is that talking to many folks who were involved with the SDGs directly, working within United Nations together, they say that it is more shine than really something happening. So this is why we want to develop this software where we want to motivate the producers to really do something, because when the motivation is not coming from bottom, from up, from the United Nations, from government to the manufacturer, if the motivation comes down from the consumer, then they will really change something, and then they will be motivated that way. So yeah, let's continue on that. Here we were talking about, let's put this down. So we have now the opportunity to talk about capitalism. When we look about capitalism right now, it is kind of a cancer with an uncontrolled growing, growing system. And then this software, what we want to create here and develop together, this will equip capitalism with a dynamic, decentralized control unity over it, where we then can evolve the capitalism from cancer towards symbiosis with the nature, with the planet, with Pachamama. This is the hope. And with this tool, it motivates us to develop it. We could give seeds to more users around the world for this. So the user who will use this web extension will have two benefits. You can make a more easy decision when buying online, buying consciously online, and you will get some seeds. You will be rewarded. And if we want to onboard the partner as a strategic partner, he will get more users, so he will win. And then the producers, the manufacturers who will get more visibility, they will win. And the environment itself, it will regenerate faster. So let's say the nature wins, and then the economy evolves to symbiosis. So this one will win and the economy will survive that. If we don't do something with the capitalism, with the economy as it is right now, it cannot survive because it will kind of, eat itself. So, and this is the motivation. And I will talk to you about how we will do that. So, as we said, the Sustainable Development Goals are not really the goals we see right now, especially in the regenerative movement. We would like to talk about the regenerative development goals. And after talking about some advisors and consultants, they said right now there is no manufacturer or producer on the planet that is really regenerative. So this is kind of a huge goal we want to achieve and come there together. And we believe that this software supported by the Seeds movement can help these organizations to be regenerative. And very important here is as well that this important note, we don't want to teach anyone or to change anyone, rather than we want to support organizations who are on the regenerative mission right now to be more sustainable. And the software itself, it will be empowering the RDGs, the Regenerative Development Goals, with two main functions. One is on the customer side and one is on the producer side, connected to the Seeds blockchain with the reputation score system that we have active already. So on the customer side, we will have the web browser extensions that shows the user the ecological footprint of the manufacturer when shopping online. And then you can make an easy decision when to buy and when to support this organization. And then the next step and the next version of this product would be that when you are shopping online, you will get a product suggestion, a proposal of a more sustainable or a more regenerative product from a more regenerative producer. And then from where do we get the data? It comes from public databases. So this would be the meta database where we will get the data from. And so we will not do any ranking of these organizations at the beginning. So on the manufacturer side, he will have detailed information about his scoring, why is he scored like he is scored, and then he can optimize his manufacturing processes and get a better scoring. So the motivation here is manufacturers can produce more sustainably and more regeneratively. This is the main goal why we are doing that. And the second goal for the seeds regenerative movement, we can distribute more seeds quickly around the world and reach a wider audience. And the third big aspect here is that we would like to invite these organizations, after they have their basic scoring coming from the public databases, we will invite them to join the regenerative movement from seeds. And when they do that, they will activate their ranking system, the ranking game. And in this ranking, they can fund regenerative campaign proposals from the community. So the campaigns we know right now in the passport, these organizations can fund them. And when they want to fund them, they have to buy seeds to fund them. When they buy seeds, this is the injection from Fiat to the seeds ecosystem. The second injection would be product referrals. So we can see that later on. I will show you some examples, but when we are on a website, let's say Amazon, and then we suggest the consumer, the one who's shopping online, a more sustainable or more regenerative product, we will get referral fees, and these are not little. And these referral fees are as well Fiat injection to the seeds ecosystem. The features we have four main features. One is a database, we can say a repository for the organizations about their ranking. And here we can see about a minimum viable product and a full version. So the minimum viable product will be a repository, like a database, where we collect the data from the United Nations, from fair trade, from other organizations like the university in Basel, and many data sources we have right now publicly available in the internet, where we can just per API collect the data and have it in our main database. And then when we have the main database, we will calculate the average rate from all these databases, and then we can show this average rate as to the consumer, and you say, see, this is the scoring of the organization. In the full version, we will have the seeds blockchain regenerative organizations, where this system is connected to the seeds blockchain, where the producer can register himself in this organization, and then he can participate in the ranking system. And seeds ambassadors or citizens can already right now flag these kind of organizations if they are not regenerative, and then they will fall down in the ranking. And so here we have then the merging of the data coming from the seeds database and the data coming from the public databases, and put it up in a beautiful ranking and showing it beautifully in a web extension to the producer and to the consumer here. So here we can talk about the browser extensions, the referral fee management. So these are the features. And we will have an administration dashboard. So if you like, we can go over user stories and get kind of a feeling what we will experience there. So we can say, as a consumer, I want to enter my seeds account name to get rewarded with X amount of seeds when I install the web extension. That's easy. As a consumer, I want to see a pop-up showing the public RDG ranking of the producer when I open the product in an online shop, so I can make an informed decision when buying online. So, and here we can see this is for the MVP and this is for the version, full version. And here we can see the difficulty level of the development on the technological side. So here for the full version, as a consumer, I want the RDG score of the producer injected in the website next to the product so I can make an informed decision on buying on them. So this, on the MVP, you will have, when you open a product, it will show up here somewhere like a pop-up. But in the full version, you will have kind of like these partners do. So this is Amazon right now. And when you install this web extension from them, you will have this thing here injected directly into the website. Or even here, you have a small number. And yeah, it's on the website from Amazon itself. Or you can do that for Alibaba or for eBay. You can do that here for Google when you type any organization, and here on the right side under it, you will see the scoring from that organization. And this, every one of us know the product suggestions from Amazon, for example, at the bottom of the website. So we can change to these products and put the ones we are suggesting are more regenerative. And then when the user clicks on them, we will get referral fees. So this is quite impressive. I didn't know that before, that we can inject information directly in the website. So let's continue here. Yes, so as a consumer, I want a suggestion of a more regenerative product when I click on a product so I can easily find alternative products. We need up-to-date databases from producers with RDG scoring and detailed RDG repository. As a consumer, I want to log in with my Seeds blockchain account so I can participate in the rewarding program. So the rewarding program would be that we say, as a consumer, I want to be rewarded with seeds when I switch to a more regenerative producer to compensate for potentially more expensive products, so I don't have to look at the price. So imagine the product that is more regenerative would be more expensive, and then we can compensate the user and give him seeds for what he is paying more, and we will get this money from the referral fees. So we don't have to pay for it. It comes from the referral fees, and then we can give the user seeds as a compensation. So I like this as well. As a user, I want to have user support so I can help improving the system. As a user, I want to open detail of scoring so I can see where the data is coming from. For the RDG ranking as a positive rated producer from public databases. So this is as well kind of important for me. We don't want every organization in the ranking system. So we have to differentiate between a ranking system, the game of seeds, and the public databases. So only when an organization has kind of a good ranking, rating, scoring in public databases, they will get invited to join the Seeds Regenerative Organization. Because first you have to be sustainable, and then you can think about regenerative. And right now, kind of we have no regenerative organization, but a lot of sustainable organizations, and then we can invite them to the regenerative game. As a Seeds ambassador, I want to edit the reputation score in the Seeds blockchain so I can update the RDG ranking with live data in the field. And this is as well one big benefit we have, that we have our ambassadors distributed around the world, and they can give live updated data. So if any producer makes something bad somewhere, and then we can flag this organization, and then they fall down in the ranking and no one buys their product anymore. So normally the SDG scoring takes long time. So organizations have to, producers, manufacturers, let's say just a normal manufacturer, so they have to do internal audit. And then this data, it takes a couple of months to get this data, right? And then they will have to send it to their country, to their government. And this will take as well a lot of time. And then when the government has this information, they have to send it to the United Nations. And from the moment they have gathered the information until it gets to the United Nations and getting kind of these public databases, it could be half a year taking time, that information to get from the beginning to that place. So, and here we have the benefit of our ambassadors around the world, where we can have live data updated to the system. And then we have the referral fee management. As a consumer, I want the seeds compensation I received to come from the referral fees the system collects from product proposals, so the regenerative movement doesn't have to pay for me. As a consumer, I want to invite others to the browser extension rewarded with seeds. And here for the administrator board. So we have different design approaches. The first for the MVP would be kind of a pop-up. A pop-up is easy to develop and you can use it for any website. For the full version, if you want to inject information inside the UI of the shopping websites, we need to do it individually for every organization. So this is how it would look like for Amazon. And here for Google, for example, we can do that for Alibaba, but this takes more effort to do it for every website. And here in the document, we are searching for our targeting groups, persons. We can say here, Emma Watson, this age, this salary, occupation, and country, and then we can do the research on that. Here, some important notes. So the functionality focus in the MVP, we will focus only, so MVP again is the minimum viable product, easy to develop and not a lot of budget needed and not a lot of time. So in the MVPs, the focus will be on manufacturer score from public databases only. In the version 1, we will have detailed product information to suggest an alternative product for the customer to buy. So here the search results on the website, like Amazon or eBay, we can not even when the producer and when the consumer opens a product and then you see the ranking or scoring, when in the full version, we can say even in the listing, like you search for bicycle and then you get a search result and then you have many products there, and then we can show to any product the scoring. But this we can use only in the full version. Compensating referral fees, we talked about that. Focus on positive rating, though. So this is important. As we started in the beginning, we don't want to change anyone out there or to teach them. Rather than we want to shift the focus from producers who are not doing so well to manufacturers who are going more regenerative. So we will have only positive ranking. maybe we'll change that later, but at the beginning, we will only have positive ranking, positive scoring, and then we will show that to the consumer, and the consumer will know if there is no ranking, then this organization would be not so sustainable or regenerative. We don't have to put any red lights or any negative ranking on any organization. So we will work with the power of energy and focus. We will shift the focus from not so sustainable manufacturers to sustainable ones. So I love that term, where focus goes, energy flows. And the ranking system from Seeds, it's so beautiful that we don't have to develop everything from the scratch. We have already several rating levels in the Seeds game guide and in the blockchain implemented. So when a sustainable organization from the public databases joins the regenerative game from Seeds, then they will start being in the ranking system, and they will be ranked as a regular organization, as a reputable, as a sustainable, as a regenerative, or as a thriving organization. So our next steps and quests, you're welcome to support here if you like, or just watch what we will do in the next. And so right now we have the efforts estimation for the minimum viable product. And we are estimating right now for the full version. So we need the support from Haifa and the blockchain team there. Target group analysis. So yeah, we need kind of a small target group analysis. And you see that in the personas section in the document. You're welcome to put there maybe your information, because you could be as well a user of this web extension, right? Then we need a pitch deck for our investors. So right now we have several potential investors who are interested in this project, in this product, and this is why I am personally so active right now with the estimations. Because they need data, they need kind of numbers, and we can present them this document here, or we can present them a beautiful pitch deck with a little bit more colors. So if you like, you can help with the pitch deck. And if you know about sketches, like how the web extension should look like we can press on this web extension. Should it look like this, or should it look like this? And then you can go on statistics, and yeah, just like small sketches, how the web extension should look like. And we need an exploration group about how we going to onboard new users, because right now, or new players. So right now in the Seeds ecosystem, we have the web of trust. So a new player needs an invitation. And if we want to distribute this tool to many users around the world, how do we want to give them invitations? So we need to explore how we gonna solve the invitation requirement here. And there is an exploration group in Seeds Discord going about the regenerative organizations or the rating organizations. I would love to reactivate this exploration group so we can discuss about the governance when we go deeper and do a research on the game guide article 1611 rating and organization biosphere contribution. You can see there in the game guide more information about all the ranking stuff. And this would be kind of the basis and principles of a regenerative economy. Here at the end of the document, you have a Miro board and the estimations we have right now from the MVP. and coming more data in right now from Haifa. So this is it for now, and I would love to open the space for any question you have. And thank you so much altogether. Yeah.
Thank you, Nadim. Some of the people wrote in the chat that they had to go on the hour, but
Yeah, sure.
us that we're here, it's very interesting. Are you already in contact with the tech guys in Haifa, with Nick and the others, about
Yes.
doing an estimation on this? Okay, great.
Yes. So yesterday we had the final estimations for the minimum viable product. So we have a team who are experts for web extensions, and they gave us the estimations for that. And then I contacted the smart contract team in Haifa at the Discord there, and yeah, they are putting their input right now from the blockchain part.
Okay.
Mm.
So I think the biggest technical issues with this are how to which public database to use, and how to match the data in the database with the data on the web page. Basically, these are the two things. And if you're using different databases, how to combine, because they might have different levels of the detail, and how this topic of combining different databases, I've worked on this thing before, and it's very complicated usually. But it can be done. I know it's hard,
Well,
but it's not
you know what
like
is
impossible.
funny? Funny
Yeah.
is like some people think we don't have enough data. So how do we want to get the data? No, it's a different. We have too much data, and we don't know how to make it easily available for the people.
Yeah. I'm really, there is this whole topic of supply chain tracking. Like this is one of the big problems of maybe this century, is to actually make a working supply chain tracking mechanism, so that people would actually know, people in the West would actually know when they're buying stuff, is that stuff connected with slavery and deforestation and carbon, that's and I don't think that this problem is solved, but maybe it's solved on the top level of like ranking the products and the companies that produce these things, but not all the supply chain that creates the product, right? So if you have any insight, around that, I'm curious to understand.
I have never seen the databases in depth, but I had a talk on Sunday with someone who was working on that before, and he was supporting us with data analysis. And he said it's crazy how much detailed information you can get on so many products, and you can see directly how is their plastic footprint, their oil footprint, their whatever reforestation or deforestation, and you can get so many detailed information about all that. So I think this is not the thing. The thing is more putting the data together and have kind of yeah, have it beautifully visible as a UI to a user and yeah, make it comfortable for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, Nadim. I think it's a great idea, and you did an amazing job on researching it all. I hope we can put it together, because it could be amazing, could be really game changer. One thing though, I think people might be slightly worried about privacy, because you have to give it access to all of your websites, presumably, so it can check. But I mean, people do that all the time, so maybe it's not such an issue.
And I think it's easy because the databases we use are public databases, so you can see everything, and our blockchain is as well transparent and public. So yeah, it's all open.
But people won't want the websites they visit to be publicly visible, obviously. So that part would have to be encrypted.
It's also like, one thing is to be like public database, another thing is to be like easily like have a good user experience, basically, because the data is public on the blockchain, but for example, it's very hard to track the campaigns, who made them, and where the funds went. It's public, it's there, but someone has to like organize it and make it visible in a good way. So, but I think, yeah, I think if you provide a way, a mechanism for people to verify that the scores are correct, and an explanation of how the scoring works, that should provide a good amount of trust in the extension and how the rankings are made. And I especially like the idea of positive ranking, so we don't actually like shun businesses that are doing bad, but just focus on the good, focus on the ones that are doing good, and push them, like give them more power, basically. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Apostle. And Guy, please, again, you said there is a part that has to be encrypted. Can you explain that for a sec?
No, I mean, when you install the browser extension as a user, then it will have to have permissions, especially on Firefox. It says this extension is requesting permissions to do the following: see all of your websites. So some people might go, "Oh my God, you know, like I don't want it to see all the porn websites I'm visiting," you know.
Yeah. Got it.
Or I don't want it to see that I got all my Christmas presents on Amazon, you know.
Yes, got it. But I mean, many are using the ad blocker, and this sees as well everything, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. But I think you can reassure people by saying that, you know, the data is completely anonymized. You know, it doesn't personally identify you. So.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing about browser extensions, that they have access to your whole everything you do. But it works. There are like thousands, and people use them all the time, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Does anyone have any other questions? Max, Justin, Telma?
Yeah, it's like a question, but also kind of advice, but also kind of like a wondering. So you're using the concept of a minimal viable product kind of comes from like lean business, right? And so it's very experimental, and it's meant to kind of have that rapid iteration of either like a technical product or like a concept or idea. And I wondered, like, are you running experiments on the things that you're saying, like, on the research you've done? Have you been able to, do you have like a practice or a process for kind of validating some of the assumptions that are underlying this model around a web extension being the right medium, or the ranking scores that are necessary to be able to build out or pull data in a meaningful way. There's a lot of different things that are happening there. And I wonder how are you testing, or do you have a way to test and experiment now so that when you have the chance to actually, let's say, code it or build it, you know what it is that you actually want to build now? Does that make sense as a question? And also
Yes.
very cool.
And also, yeah, do you like to add something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's also like it's a mix of things that I'm saying there, but I say that because I think it would, if you don't have that, I think it would be really supportive, and it will allow you to kind of do what you, I think there's also this capacity to find what you really want to own in all this, like your kind of where your passion kind of comes alive, and I can hear it and I can see it, but I don't, yeah. So I think that's another great way to experiment is by having the hands-on experiences, or getting people activated now in the ways you named. Yeah. So it's just kind of, that's kind of,
Yes.
I'm trying to be like, yeah, you good, you good.
Thank you, Justin, for this input. Yeah, and yeah, we have to measure in the minimum viable product once we got the approval that we want that, then we will start measuring the data and do kind of market research. And yeah, your approach is right. We have to learn from the market once we have it.
Yeah, what I'm actually recommending in that vein, yes, but also I think you have to start now, and it's less about the market as much as it is about having an embodied, like you understanding exactly what the solution is, because you have had as much hand in building it as possible. So there's like obviously like a limit to the where our individual skills can reach, but as like a founder, I think it's really important to really kind of you know, from the database design to the ranking, you know, designing the aspects that you can design as a way to kind of put it in front of people and learn about that. I think that would be really valuable, and also start to kind of engage the different pockets of people that you're naming, like these working groups, or Alex and the tech team, or the development team at Haifa, like those things. I think if you're actively building yourself in this way, that you'll get a lot of support, and you'll also know what you actually want from this in some ways. I'm saying you don't, but I'm saying that in the way that like the experimentation, I think, happens beyond just market research. It happens in product development, which I kind of hear you're holding in a way is the coordination of people in order to get to the end result of this regenerative ranking platform or software, or you know, however it ends up being into the world. So does that make more sense?
Yes,
Cool.
yes. Yeah, thank you, Brother Justin. And we are developing right now, establishing a mastermind, let's say, where we meet weekly and discuss over what we want to explore and what is important right now as a topic, open questions. Yeah, so this would be the next step.
Do you plan to organize that in an exploration group, or just an informal group of people who just meet together?
This is a good question. So right now, I'm inviting Barbara, both of Max and you. Oh yeah, some of you know. She is one of the SDG consultants because she was working with that a lot, and she will help as well in the mastermind group. Narek, he Anna and Irina could meet him today. He is helping with the web extension development team. He's giving us the estimations. He knows about seeds since a while, but now he's getting more and more active because of this project here, and he will be part of that exploration group. And yes, I know inside the Renaissance Explorer space, there are many interested in that topic. And in Discord, we have exploration group, but it's kind of inactive and it is confidential, like it's not public, no one can see it. So maybe we can, improve something there.
Okay, if you need any support from me, just let me know and we can set it up. And
Yeah, do you think it would make sense to open the exploration group in the Renaissance Course forum, or
the benefit, for example, of having your conversations semi-public in a Discord channel under exploration groups, it would give a visibility to people, so people would be more in the loop. What are you doing? But then the people who are just in the exploration group will be able to write in that channel in Discord. So it would provide a kind of a visibility for everyone who wants to check in on what you guys are doing, what you guys are chatting about. So that could be useful, I think. I don't see any downsides to it. So I don't know. You would need, the downside is that you would need to maybe provide an update every couple of weeks or every month on what are you doing, where are you at, and that kind of stuff. But it's not that much of a downside.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just think about it. Let me know. And
I would love to invite Telma to have kind of a female voice point of view to this, if you like to share something. If not, it's okay.
Telma, are you here? Maybe she's yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. Yeah, it's a very good idea. I don't
Are you
have
looking
any.
for more? Sorry, are you looking for more developers, Nadim?
For sure, for sure.
I know one Dutch guy who does like data analysis stuff. So he's just had a baby, so he might not be available for a while, but it's the sort of thing he does, and he might be interested. So maybe in a couple of months I could put you in touch if necessary.
Oh yes, please. And Apostle, I know that you had some focus on the journey or on the onboarding from the outside world to Seeds.
Yeah, I'm writing an app. I'm a developer. I'm writing an app that would enable kind of a mass invite functionality via QR code. So, or a link or a QR code. So yeah, that's there basically. It's not finished, but I don't think it would have any technical difficulties. I'm doing a bunch of other things and haven't gotten to finishing it. It's halfway ready.
How do you see it? Would it make more sense automating it with the app, or just remove this whole invitation thing completely?
From the extension?
Yes, for example, when you download the web extension, then you don't need the invitations, you only register.
Yeah, you can only just put your Seeds account name and it could work.
No, I mean, if you don't have an account, if you are a new user.
If you don't, well, it could work with or without Seeds, actually, the extension. It doesn't need Seeds to work.
Sure.
Yeah, but the Seeds would be a benefit. So you could have like a tab where people could, if they have an account, they can just scan a QR code and log in. There is that, and if they don't have an account, they can actually maybe you could have like pool of invites that people could use to just create a new account and register. But I think that the onboarding would be best created, like, there is one point in the referendum, the governance referendum, about having a in-person contact for the onboarding. And I think that has value. So we could allow people to just have an account, but then maybe there could be more benefits if they are resident or something.
Yes,
Like
yes,
this.
yes, yes,
Because to be resident, you have to have a contact with someone
that's right.
in order to vouch for you and all that. So
yeah, we could say as a visitor you will get a fund, you will get a rewarding for installing the web extension. But if you want this compensation for buying a better product, you have to be a resident, for example.
Something like this.
Yeah. A lot of possibilities to play here, really. Yeah.
And the thing is, usually you have an MVP, but before the MVP, there is a thing called a proof of concept. So a proof of concept is a not something that's not working, but it's not like beautiful. It can be used by users, but it's functional. So it gathers data, and the proof of concept would be a software program which doesn't need to be an extension, that gathers data and identifies a product and puts a number, a ranking on that product, something like this. And you usually do a proof of concept in order to validate if your idea is technically like viable. But I think this one is just a matter of if you have a proof of concept, it could be easier to onboard investors, or it could be easier to onboard an investor for the proof of concept, which could be a smaller investment than the MVP. So it could be a tiered investment, basically. But
no,
yeah,
this is a high valuable input. Thank you so much. I know the approach of proof of concept. I just thank you for the reminder.
yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. I think we're on time. So if you have anything for checkout, Nadim?
Just a lot of appreciation and gratitude for you and your consultation and advisings. Thank you so much from my deepest heart for everything you do, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you to Nadim.
Thanks, Nadim. It was great.
Yeah. Thanks everyone who was here. I was frankly kind of skeptical coming in, but now I feel passionate for the idea and energized for it. So that says something. Thank you. If anyone wants to say something, please, for checkout. I saw that Justin almost unmuted himself.
I was just saying yeah, thanks and bye, guys. I like this style of kind of pitch and feedback. It's very distinct, and I think it's kind of fun because I think our system needs more of that, more entrepreneurship that's being kind of validated and also encouraged in some way. So it's so special.
Yeah, it's a very interesting format. It's a very good format. Yeah, I like it as well. We can think about doing other things in the future. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.